What if I told you the Denver Broncos just pulled off one of the most nerve-wracking comebacks of the entire NFL season, and almost no one saw it coming in Houston? Under the blinding stadium lights, the Broncos clawed their way back from yet another fourth-quarter deficit, escaping with an 18-15 win over the Texans that felt more like survival than victory. But what really happened in those tense final moments? And what hidden stories lie behind this dramatic turnaround? Here are 5 revelations from Denver's stunning road triumph, each one exposing a different layer of a team that refuses to die. For most of the afternoon, it looked like the Texans had complete control of the game. The crowd roared with every big stop, every pass, every defensive stand, but Denver was quietly plotting something deeper. The Broncos have made a habit this season of waiting until the fourth quarter to come alive, and once again they did exactly that behind the grid of a defense that simply refuses to break, and the resilience of an offense that would not quit. Denver turned what looked like certain defeat into another improbable win. Number 1, Dre Greenlaw's return changes everything. For weeks, Denver's defense had been solid, but not spectacular. Then came Greenlaw after missing the first 6 games of the season with a quad injury and sitting another due to suspension. He stepped back onto the field like a man possessed. He recorded 8 tackles, 1 sack, and countless plays that changed the tone of the game. His presence immediately elevated everyone around him. You could see it in the linebackers' movements, the way the secondary tightened their coverage, and how the defensive line fed off his energy. The Texans were denied 3 times in the red zone and twice more in goal-to-go situations. It was the kind of performance that does not just stop a team, it crushes their confidence. Denver has now held opponents without a touchdown in 4 games this season, just one shy of a franchise record set back in 1978. Greenlaw's return might be the turning point that pushes this unit from good to dominant. And if this defense keeps playing like this, the rest of the AFC needs to start paying attention. Number 2, J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey are a dynamic duo. Dobbins is the engine that keeps the ground game running, 15 carries for 61 yards against one of the toughest fronts in the league. Every yard mattered, every carry was earned. But the surprise story continues to be R.J. Harvey, the rookie, who has become a spark plug for this offense. He caught a 27-yard touchdown that tied him with Tampa Bay's Emeka Egbuka for the most receiving touchdowns by a rookie this year for total, which is also a Broncos rookie record for a running back. Harvey has become the secret weapon. Sean Payton has been searching for a player who can line up in the backfield, or the slot receiver out of the backfield who stretches defenses in ways few rookie running backs can. Dobbins and Harvey have become the modern version of the Kamara and Ingram combination that Payton once made famous in New Orleans. One pounds the rock while the other glides through secondaries, and together they give the Broncos offense balance, rhythm, and unpredictability. Number 3, Chris Abrams' drains hit on C.J. Stroud was not dirty. In the second quarter, tension filled the air as Stroud scrambled and slid late on a run. Abrams' drain collided with him at full speed, and the stadium froze. Flags were thrown. Fans held their breath, and for a moment it felt like the momentum might shift against Denver. A replay told a different story. Stroud's slide came delayed for Abrams' drain to pull up, and the hit landed cleanly in the chest, not the helmet. The flag was picked up, but Stroud's head hit the turf hard, causing the concussion. It was a brutal moment, a reminder that football is a game of split-second decisions. Abrams' drain did his job. He played clean, he played hard. Yet the moment still left everyone shaken. It was a play that showed just how fine the line can be between aggression and penalty, between making a stop and changing a season. Number 4, special teams blunders continue to haunt the Broncos. Even as the team found ways to win, those old ghosts still linger. A blocked field goal in the first quarter, a muffed punt just before halftime that led directly to a Texans field goal. Sean Payton was visibly frustrated afterward, telling reporters that the team needed to clean up those mistakes or find someone who could. Those small errors are the kind that can destroy momentum and ruin games against tougher opponents. It was not the first time this year special teams miscues had put Denver in a bad spot. In week 2, it cost them a win, and while this team has grown since then, those cracks remain visible. The truth is Denver cannot rely on late-game heroics forever. The margin for error in the NFL is razor thin, and special teams could be the difference between a playoff berth and another season of disappointment. Number 5, Bo Nix remains clutch for 3 quarters. The rookie quarterback looked ordinary. The offense sputtered, the timing was off, and the crowd noise rattled the line. But when the fourth quarter arrived, Nix transformed into the calm, unshakable leader that Denver has been dreaming of since Payton Manning left, he orchestrated a game-tying drive, finished it with a 2-point conversion, and then engineered the game-winning series with ice in his veins. That makes for fourth-quarter comebacks this season. Tied for the most in the NFL, the Broncos have scored 96 points in the fourth quarter. Tied with the Green Bay Packers for the league lead. They may not start strong, but they finished like few teams in football, can now sitting at 7, and the Denver owns its best record through 9 games since 2015, the season that ended with a Super Bowl championship. No one is calling them favorites yet, but you can feel something building in this team, a confidence, a toughness that cannot be faked. Bo Nix may not have the flash of a veteran superstar, but he has that rare quality, the ability to deliver when everything is on the line. Next up is a Thursday night clash with the Las Vegas Raiders, a division rivalry game that could tighten or widen the AFC West race. Denver has a short week to prepare, but momentum is on their side. If they win again, they could solidify themselves as legitimate contenders in a conference filled with uncertainty. The defense is surging, the offense is adapting, and the energy inside the locker room is undeniable. The Broncos are not just winning games, they are rewriting their identity. Every drive, every tackle, every comeback is part of a larger story. A story about a team that refused to give up when everyone else counted them out. A story about a city that remembers what greatness feels like and dares to believe again. This is more than a comeback win. It is the rebirth of a franchise that once ruled the NFL and might just be ready to do it again. So stay with us, watch every second until the end, because the Broncos are writing something special right before our eyes. And this story is only getting started.